Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna everyone. So today is 10th of December. It is Sunday. It is Margasesha Masa or Keshava Masa, Krishna Pakshan, and the Trayodasi Tithi. So there are a few events today. So today is the disappearance day of we just okay, so today is the disappearance day of Sri Saranga Thakura. So there are a few lines from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, chapter 10, the trunk, branches, and sub-branches of the Chaitanya tree. The 73rd branch of the original tree was Ramadasa. The 74th was Kavichandra. The 75th was Sri Gopaladasa. The 76th was Bhagavata Acharya. And the 77th was Thakura Sarangadasa. So another name of Thakura Sarangadasa was Saranga Thakura. Sometimes he was also called Sarangapani or Sarangadhara. He was a resident of Navadvipa in the neighborhood known as the uh, Modadhrumadvipa, and he used to worship the Supreme Lord in a secluded place on the bank of the Ganges. He was not accepting disciples, but he was repeatedly being inspired from within by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to do so. Thus, one morning he decided, whomever I see, I shall make my disciple. So when he went to the bank of the Ganges to take his bath, by chance he saw a dead body floating in the water, and he touched it with his feet. This immediately brought the body to life, and Thakur Sarangadasa accepted him as his disciple. This disciple later became famous as Thakura Murari, and his name is always associated with that of Sri Saranga. His disciplic succession still inhabits the village of Sar. There is a temple in Mamagachi that is said to have been started by Saranga Thakura. Not long ago, a new temple building was erected in front of a bakula tree there, and it is now being managed by the members of the Gaudiya Mata. It is said that the management of the temple is now far better than before. In the Gaura Ganesh Deepika 172, it is stated that Saranga Thakura was formerly a gopi named Nandimukhi. Some devotees say that he was formerly Prahlada Maharaja, but Sri Kavi Karnapura says that his father Sivananda Sena does not accept this proposition. So regarding the disciple of Saranga Thakura, we find this extraordinary account in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 11th and 11th chapter 20th verse. There were many extraordinary activities performed by Murari, a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes in his ecstasy, he would slap the cheek of a tiger, and sometimes he would play with a venomous snake. There are a few lines, very beautiful. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya Murari. In Anubhashya, Murari Chaitanya Dasa was born in the village of Sar Vrindavanapura, which is situated about 2 miles from the Galas station and the Burdwan line. So when Murari Chaitanya Dasa came to Navadvipa, he settled in a village of Modadruma or Mamagachi Grama. At that time, he became known as the Saranga or Saranga Murari Chaitanya Dasa. The descendants of his family still reside in Sarir Pata. In the Chaitanya Bhagavata, Anjakanda, chapter 5, there is the following statement. Murari Chaitanya Dasa had no material bodily features, for he was completely spiritual. Thus, we would sometimes chase after tigers in the jungle and treat them just like cats and dogs. We would slap the cheek of a tiger and take a venomous snake on his lap. He had no fear for his external body, of which he was completely forgetful. He could spend all 24 hours of the day chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or speaking about Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. Sometimes he would remain submerged in water for 2 or 3 days, but he would feel no bodily inconvenience. Thus, he behaved almost like stone or wood. But he always used his energy in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. No one can describe his specific characteristics, but it is understood that wherever Murari Chaitanya Dasa passed, whoever was present would be enlightened in Krishna consciousness simply by the atmosphere created. So that is from the events perspective. So today, that is the Saranga Thakura disappearance day, and his disciple is also Chaitanya Dasa. Was his pastimes are also glory. Murari Chaitanya Dasa. So they're very beautiful. So that is from the Vaishnavians' perspective. So we shall quickly enter into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Suta Goswami is narrating about the Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was struck with extreme hunger and thirst, and his palate, his tongue was dried. At that time, he was asking for a water uh, from the Muni who is in the Samadhi state completely, who is beyond the Jagruti, Swapna, and Shuptishu. So he is transcendently situated. So such kind of people cannot be woken up easily. So now Parikshit is asking for water, but Parikshit he was not received properly. So instead of situation is further going. So Parikshit is thinking he did not receive me properly and he did not say some good words to me. And in such a way he was thinking and he got angry. अलब्ध तृणभूम्यादिः असम्प्राप्त अर्घ्यसूनृतः अवज्ञातम् इवात्मानं मन्यमानच्युकोपः. So he was angry in such a way by thinking this Muni did not receive properly. So today Further Suta Goswami is saying these unprecedented circumstances like the hunger and thirst, and he was so distressed because he did not get water and anything at all, any reception, proper reception. And so here, exhibiting his anger towards a Brahmana, he has never done in his past. But here, unprecedented and circumstantially, he is showing that anger towards the Brahmana. Likewise, Suta Goswami is saying. So we are in the first canto, chapter 18, verse number 29. अभूतपूर्वः सहसा शत्रुभ्याम् अर्जितात्मनः ब्राह्मणं प्रति अभूद्ब्रह्मन् मत्सरो मन्युरेव च. अभूतपूर्वः सहसा. Abhutapurvaha, this is unprecedented, and sahasa, this circumstantially, unprecedented circumstances. Abhota purvaha sahasa kshutrubhyam additatmanaha. And because he struck with hunger and thirst, additatmanaha, distressed with this hunger and thirsty. Abhota purvaha sahasa kshutrubhyam additatmanaha. Brahmanam prati abhut brahman. Brahmanam prati abhut brahman. And towards the brahmanas, prati abhut, he never has got any angry. He never did anything opposite to the brahmanas. Brahmanam prati abhut, he never did anything against the brahmanas. Brahman, or Saunakadi sages, Masaro Manyurevacha, and so like envious and angry towards the brahmanas. Likewise, Suta Goswami saying, Parikshit got angry, like the envious and angry towards a brahmana, which he has never done in the past. But that is unprecedented and circumstantially, he was extreme hunger and thirst. In such a way, his position was very awkward. Abhutapurvaha sahasa kshutrubhyam adhitatmanaha brahmanam prati abhut brahman mastaro manyurevacha. So translation for this verse is, O Brahmanas, the circumstances having distressed him with extreme hunger and thirst, the king directed toward the sage his anger and envy, which he had never before directed toward a Brahmana. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. For a king like Maharaja Parikshit to become angry and envious, especially at a sage and Brahmana, was undoubtedly unprecedented. The king knew well that Brahmanas, sages, children, women, and old men are always beyond the jurisdiction of punishment. Similarly, the king, even though he commits a great mistake, is never to be considered a wrongdoer. But in this case, Maharaja Parikshit became angry and envious at the sage due to his thirst and hunger by the will of the Lord. The king was right to punish his subject for coldly receiving him or neglecting him. But because the culprit was a sage and a Brahmana, it was unprecedented. As the Lord is never envious of anyone, so also the Lord's devotee is never envious of anyone. The only jurisdiction for Maharaja Parikshit's behavior is that it was ordained by the Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here, Parikshit is also a devotee and also Brahmana. He is in the already Samadhi, the transcendental position. When such kind of circumstances happens, so generally Brahmanas come into the picture. Because the Brahmanas, so sambhodhayanti aham upakrutastaihi. So this is, the Lord says that one. E brahmanan maidhyakshapato archayantaha तुष्यद पृतः स्मित सुदोक्षित पद्मवक्त्राः वाण्यानुराग कलयात्मजवद्घृणन्तः संबोधयन्ति अहम् एव अहम् उपाहुतास्तैः. The Brahmanas who are always dedicating themselves to me and worshipping me, when such kind of Brahmanas are speaking, even the anger, and the person who is receiving those words and happily with a happy face, thinking that the Lord is speaking directly through Brahmana to him. Such a kind of person. So here there are glorifying Brahmana and also devotee. It's a very beautifully balancing by the Lord. And the devotee receives, saying that it's Lord only speaking through the Brahmanas. If we see in the past history, there are Dhruva and Ambarish Muni. So one Brahmana and one king. And in the Vaikuntha, these Kumaras and also Jaya and Vijaya. So there are also Brahmanas and Krishna's devotees there. And also here, Parikshit and the Shamika Rishi. And also there are so many past incidents where we could see the Brahmanas involvement. So what it means, Sambhodayanti aham iva aham upakrutastaihi. A person who recognizes that when Brahmana is speaking, thinking that it is only me. Such kind of devotee is very dear to the Lord. So here for the Parikshit, now he is facing. What is he facing? That anger and enviousness. This is generally when a desire is not fulfilled, this anger would come. This is Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Krododbhava sammoha smriti. So what is that one? So just whenever we contemplate about any particular topic, so immediately we get the attachment to those sense objects or any topics or the objects, and then we later on we wanted to fulfill those desires, and we don't. If we don't want to fulfill, if we don't get a chance to fulfill those desires, immediately we will get the angry. So here the Kumaras, the four Brahmanas, when they went to Vaikuntha to see the Lord, at the time they were also stopped by the this Jaya and Vijay. Immediately they got angry. ऊचुः सुहृत्तमदिदृक्षितभङ्ग ईषत् कामानुजेन सहसात उपप्लुताक्षाः. They are also, this is the, once again, circumstantially. Kamanujena sahasata upaplutakshah, with very angry eyes, they also started those words, giving curse to the Jaya and Vijaya. That is very, very, these are circumstantially under, everything has happened. The Lord says that, Shapo maiva nimita tadaveta vipraha. O Brahmana, this giving the curse by yourself, it is just by my arrangement. And do not worry that you have Yenagaso Vayam Ajakshmihi Kilbishena. Later on, Brahmanas admitted that I have made a they have made a mistake that cursing this Jaya and Vijaya. They were doing simply their duty, because again there is a behind past story. Etat pureva nirdishtam ramaya kruddhaya yada pura pavarita dvari vishanti mayuparate. That is also foretold by the Lakshmi Devi. Because Jaya and Vijaya at the time also they were doing their duty. Lord is sleeping nicely in his bed, and then Lakshmi Devi is going. So they don't want Lord to be disturbed at that particular point of time. But here Lakshmi Devi is going, and it is also circumstantially they stopped. So, and they are also there doing their duty, and also at that time Lakshmi Devi foretold that you will be fall down into the material world. And that one has come true whenever the Brahmanas, they have come back again to come to this Vaikuntha to see the Lord. So here Brahmanas, when we see, when we are dealing with the Brahmanas, we need to be very careful. And also Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are on the topmost level. So that is also said by the Kapila Muni. So out of this Chaturvarnya, Brahmanas are the top. Out of Brahmanas who knows the Vedas, they are the very high level. On top of them, who can explain those Veda Artha, the meaning of the Vedas, they are the top. Out of them, who is following those Vedic and giving knowledge to everyone, they are the top. And on top of them, whoever is renouncing the results of their works, they are the top. On top of them, a person who has completely dedicated everything, his life and everything, and following dharmanustanam. Ye animitta nimittena dharmena aradayan harim. That is the Krishna's devotees, dedicating himself completely 100%. They are the topmost, they are the Vaishnavas. There. So these are the levels of. So here, but Brahmanas is the beginning of a very in those category. So here Brahmanas, whatever the Brahmanas speak, it would come true. So likewise, Lord also given. So here, such kind of Brahmanas. So Maharaja Parikshit knows very well about the Brahmanas, how to treat them. But here, unprecedented circumstantially, he was stuck with hunger. And also in the day-to-day activities, when we have to follow all the regulative principles properly, but there will be unprecedented, uncircumstantial, these circumstantially some kind of things happen without knowing to us. That is exceptional. So this is also said in the previously by Sutta Goswami. In the day-to-day activities, one has to follow all the regulative principles. So likewise, here Sutta Goswami is saying this is unprecedented that Parikshit Maharaj got envious and angry towards a Brahmana. Abhuta Purvaha Sahasa Shutrubhyam Adhitatmanaha Brahmanam Prati Abhut Brahman Matsaro Manyurevacha. Matsaro Manyurevacha. So this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, very beautiful. So these circumstances we also face so many times. Here, Parikshit and Brahmana, but in our day-to-day life, a wife has to face the husband, a child has to face the father, or a husband has to face the spiritual master. So many other these circumstances, unprecedented circumstances, we would also see it. But when we see this authority, who is the authority? Husband is the authority, father is the authority, spiritual master is the authority. And whatever they say, we have to take it and then execute it. It is not we say opposite to them. But even if there are some things, first of all, we need to put the case in front of them. What is the case? What is good and what is not good. So, and then you take the decision finally. Even though it is bad, but we have whenever it is accepted, it will good. It will happen. It will turn into good to the person who is executing it. Even though husband is saying which is not good for the wife, but because husband said, wife executed it, but still auspicious happens to the wife, like to the child, like to the disciple, because there are behind the Lord is there. That is the dharma. Okay, so that is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. अभूतपूर्वः सहसा क्षुत्रभ्याम् अर्धितात्मनः ब्राह्मणं प्रति अभूत ब्रह्मन् मस्तरो मन्युरेव च. Okay, we shall quickly enter into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is a letter to Pradyumna Arundhati, November 14th, 1969, London. Can I request any dear devotees to read this letter?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, may I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Pradyumna and Arundhati, please accept my blessings. I am very much anxious to hear from you. In my last letter, I was informed by you that you were going to send me some specimens of the composed version of Nectar of Devotion, but I have not received anything till now. Besides that, you have not called for the remaining portion of the manuscript. This means the major portion is not yet composed. In the meantime, the press is ready. The press has already begun to print, and without having any book ready, they are printing other materials. But the press is specifically meant for printing my books. So far as I can understand, 12 or 13 books are ready for going to the press. Simply they require to be composed. So please let me know what is the exact position why the work is going slowly. Here some respectable friends has promised to publish my book Krishna in 2 parts. The manuscript is also ready. So after Nectar of Devotion, I want to take up this work immediately. Formerly, the plan was that Arundhati and Shyamadasi combinedly will compose at least 20 pages daily under the guidance of Haigriva and Pradyumna. Pradyumna will be responsible for the diacritic marks and Haigriva for correct English and grammatical composition. This was the arrangement. The press is ready, the manuscript are ready, but I have find from your department things are not up to the standard. So please let me know what is the position, whether it is possible for you to take this responsibility. If you take the responsibility, what is the difficulty that things are going so slowly? I shall wait your reply to this letter and shall thank you very much in anticipation. I hope this will meet you in good health. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, in this point, it is like the spirit of Srila Prabhupada, like how he much wanted to, how he much loved the books. His only the major wish or dream was to publish all his books. So he wanted to do that as soon as possible, as much as possible. So in this also that spirit is revealed, like he don't want the press to wait for another manuscript. It is like it continuous printing has to go on, like continuous. So he has plan, next plan is Krishna book, so I want to finish this. So he I ask his disciples also to two things fast, don't procrastinate, like it is an emergency, so I have to do it like this as soon as possible, because Prabhupada had a very short time to finish all his tasks. So this is Prabhupada's heart, how he loved the books, how he given all his time, energy, and all that he have, money, every resources and everything to publish books, to help the conditioned souls out in the material world, to give them a chance to turn back to Krishna, give them a chance to experience better, higher taste in this material world. So this is Prabhupada, it is like he's not like ordering, or it is in a very very humble and neat way to ask them to do things, rather than chastising or rather than scolding them. He was very a perfect gentleman. He's asking them the reason, like we can also practically do, like we don't have to scold, or we don't have to chastise them to get some work done from them. We can actually very humbly and very perfect way we can also approach people to get a response from them. So yes, Prabhu, that is what my understanding. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautiful summary of it. Any other points, dear devotees? Yes, so in this letter, as Mataji also mentioned, so one point is whenever things to be done, we never point, even though if that person is not doing things or he might have done mistake, we never point out. So here Prabhupada is only asking only for the circumstances and exhibiting his what needs to be done. That's all. Because every person behind, there may be some different reasons why they have not doing. But whenever the circumstances and the interest needs to be focused, then everyone also voluntarily they come forward. So he in the previously also, when Parikshit was speaking to Dharma, the bull, um, the white bull, who is personified Dharma, Suchakasyapi Dharmam. So Suchakasyapi, even the one who is pointing out the opposite person, for them also, if you point out a person that you have done a mistake, who has really done a mistake, but whenever we point out, identify it, then for them also applies. Dharma applies. Suchakasyapi. Very beautifully said here. Prabhupada is all the letters, they are like that as mentioned. So that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter and my takeaway as well. So this book shows Prabhupada's hard work, everything. So we need to take that opportunity to read this Prabhupada books, each and every word and line, and then spend all our day. This is austerity and penances. Okay, that is my takeaway from this letter as well. Any other comments, dear devotees? Raslila Mataji, Meena Mataji, Goringi Mataji. Okay, so if there are no further comments, and from the announcements point of view, so on coming Tuesday, once again our week starting. So Tuesday is our the preaching practice session. So the speaker is going to be Radha Sevika Mataji. And then after that, our regular events like Kirtan evening and also Krishna Katha. So those are the regular events. I don't have any further special announcements from me. And dear devotees, if you have got any other events or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness or anything on Srimad Bhagavatam, kindly share.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I ask a doubt? It's like you were mentioning now, like the Kumaras, they were angry at the Jaya and Vijaya, all even though they were doing their duty. So, why it is like that happened? Is it only because Krishna's arrangement, or is there any other reason why they behave like that, even though they know, right, they are doing their duty? Why they were not able to control their anger at that moment? And is there any particular reason for that, or it is just like Krishna's plan? Krishna made that.
So here the Brahmanas could not control their anger. Is that the question, Mataji? Or Jaya and Vijaya from that angle?
No, from Kumara's angle, because they know, right, Jaya and Vijay, they are doing the devotional service, so why they still curse them?
Yes, Mataji. So that is a very beautiful point. Here, these Kumaras, when they were going to see the Lord, they are very eager. It is very beautiful, the circumstances. They have been seeing Vaikunta, all the glories, everyone are doing their respect duties. So that is the once again the story has to start. Taye kada bhagavato vaikuntasya amalakmanah yuyur vaikuntanaliyam sarvaloka namaskritam. On one day, these Brahmanas wanted to see whenever in their adventures, when they were going all this universe, different parts of the world, they will be Cheru Vihas Lokan Logeshu Vikataspruhaha, without any attachment and desires, they are roaming throughout the universe. At the time, they enter into the Vaikuntha also, desiring to see the Lord. And there they have seen where the Lord is sitting there. Sattum Vishtabhivirijam Swanamnam Rodayan Rushaha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is giving pleasure to all his associates, who is beyond this material world. There, when they went there, they have seen all auspicious things. Even the birds also doing Harikatha, and also the flowers, they are also giving respect to the Tulsi Maharani. And even all the devotees, without any passionate or mode of passion and ignorance, even they have got beautiful concerts. They're still glorifying the Lord. And they have got very beautiful airplanes. And so these Brahmanas are seeing the opulence of the Vaikuntha. And the women are also having the flowers, lotus flowers in the hand, trying to impress the Lord, even though there is no, by doing their activities like cleaning the walls which are with the gold and all the jewels. There is no dust, but they're trying to impress the Lord to get the mercy of the Lord. So when they're in such beautiful circumstances, the Kumaras entered there are 7 gates in the Vaikunta. So they have passed 6. Tasmin atitya munaya sarasajjamana kapchaha samana vaisavada saptamayam. At the 7th gate, there are 2 people are there. So they're Jaya and Vijaya. So, and how they're looking like they're wearing all the garlands just like the Supreme Personality, but they are kind of intoxicated. Mattadvirefakalaya, intoxicated in the sense their eyes looks like that. Eyes are just reddish. They have got the garlands which are intoxicating. That smell is coming. Vaktram bhava kutlaya spotanirghamabhyam, and they were a bit angry because they are doing their duty, but there are 4 children are coming towards the Vaikunta without any dress. With a naked bodies, 5 children are coming to the Vaikunta and they were guarding. So, what is the duty of the guards? To protect the Vaikunta, anyone coming strange, not to come in. Sorry, if strangers are coming, they have to stop. First of all, need to know. So here, these Brahmanas, what they have been seeing, everything there is ye sancharanti avishaha, ye sancharanti avishamaya, and they did not see any tinge of material things, tinge of enviousness anywhere they have been. So they said, ye sancharanti avishaha vigatabhishankaha, without any obstacles, they have entered into the Vaikunta. Now here suddenly they are seeing this kind of stopped by the Jaya and Vijaya immediately, because they are in so much of happiness to see the Lord and seeing everything is all good things, all auspicious things. When then immediately they stopped, what happened? What happened? Who they have been contemplating? Well, these people look like Lord, but why? How come these people are who are living in the Vaikunta? They're able to have such kind of. So here the Lord is tasmin prashanta vigre, tasmin prashanta purushe gata vigrehevam. How come kova atmot kuhakayoho kuhakat atmaniyo. So they say, how come any envious people would come here? The Lord, he is sitting here peacefully without any enemies at all. And how come these servants, kovam yahiti bhagavati paricharyayotchaihi, these are the servants, तद्धर्मिणां निवसतां तद्धर्मिणां निवसतां vishama subhavaha. And here Brahmanas are thinking vishama subhavaha, tadharminam. People living in the Vaikunta, they should have got they see all living entities with equal vision, without a difference between anyone. Either it is a cat, dog, or a human, or Brahmana, or any demigod. So equal vision. But how come these people have got vishama subhavaha? So Brahmanas are thinking like that. So because they were stopped, then even though they are uh, not to be stopped by anyone, but they were stopped. At that time they spoke after contemplating all these things. Vuchuhu suhruttama didrukshada bhanga yeshat. So that is the reason. Vuchuhu, they spoke. Suhruttama didrukshada bhanga yeshat. Whenever they are very eager to see the Lord, at that time they stopped. Then Kamanujena Sahasata Uplutakshah. The desire was immediately stopped by this Jaya and Vijaya. So what immediately these people got? Kumaras. So their anger was not permanent. It is a temporary. Immediately they were being bitten by the snake, the angry snake. And then immediately they said, we will send you to the Papastrayaha Rimo Ripavo Yasya Atra. So wherever there is 3 material modes of nature, the goodness, passion, and ignorance, they mixed. So now you have shown the difference between in the Vaikunta. There is no difference, but you have showed the difference between a person How come if anyone has come to Vaikuntha, he must have completely purified. But you have showed that difference. So we will send you to the material world where there are the three enemies. And then when they were doing, then Lord came there, and then he has reconciled all the situation. And then he has glorified the Brahmanas a lot. And then he also, within those glorifications of the Brahmanas, he also glorified the Vaishnavas, who are humble and meek. And finally, he says that Saho Maiva Nimita Tadaveta Vipraha. And also, my devotees, this Jaya and Vijaya, what has happened at that particular time, they forgot. Kadati Kutyamam Yadva Bahu Akratam Atikramam. They forgot about me without chanting at that moment. What Krishna has said, Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Mamanasmaridhyacha. All the time one has to remember Krishna, but they forgot, even though in the Vaikuntha. Kadati Kutyamam Yadva Bahu Akratam Atikramam. So that's why they were able to do that mistake, Bahuakratam Atikramam. And what happens when such kind of things happen? Yannamani Kurnati Loke Bhutya Krutagasi. Whoever is chanting my name, and then so Asadavad Tatkirtim Hanti Twacha Ivamay Twanchi Hanti Twachim Ivamayaha. And if anyone behaves such kind of offenses towards the Brahmanas, then such kind of person has to fall down. It is very, very important. So later on, Lord explains all these things. So when getting angry, it is just only knowing small thing, it may not be sufficient. So entire circumstances needs to be analyzed, so many angles. But what happens? There are no one's faults. Brahmanas, they wanted to see the Lord. So there should not be any blockages from that point of view. But there is it, they have seen it. That is not a good thing. So Brahmanas got angry to curse them. Jaya and Vijaya, they were doing duty. And they were trying, when they were doing duty, they also see unprecedented circumstances that strangers are entering into Vaikuntha. So but they stopped it. It is their duty. And also when Lakshmi Devi was coming with the love towards the Lord, Vishanti Mayuparate. And because the Lord is sleeping inside the palace, so they don't want the Lord to be disturbed. At that time, they stopped the Lakshmi Devi. And then they're also big, but Lakshmi Devi also foretold that. Etat Pureva Nirdishtam, Ramaya Kruddhaya Yada. Just Lakshmi Devi got also angry. Because Lakshmi Devi also foretold. And now that has come true through the Brahmanas now. Maisam Brahmayogena Nistirya Brahmahelanam. Pratyeshidam Nikashame Kalena Alpyasa Punaha. So, because you got angry, so here Jaya and Vijaya, they are going to act as enemies and like enemies towards the Lord. Mai Sambhramba Yogena, but they are keep on thinking of the Lord. And here once again, Jaya and Vijaya also, even though they were cursed, but they did not say opposite to the Brahmanas a single word. Instead, they requested Mavo Nutapakalaya Bhagavad Smrutigno Moho Bhavedihano Vrajito Ado Adaha. Even though we fall down to lower species, but Moho, we should not ever at any point of time never forget the Lord. So that's why Lord also gave that benediction to them. Mai Sambhramba Yogena, that is also yoga. But that is also yoga. Somewhere or other, they are always remembering Krishna. That is very important. So Kamadveshat, Bhayat Snehat, Yatha Bhakteshware Manaha, Bahavo Tadgatim Gataha. So many people attained that supreme abode. Kamat by desires, Bheshat by angry, by Snehat. So likewise, so many people have got relationship with the Lord, and Yata Bhakteshwari Manaha, Bahavo Tadgatim Gataha. So likewise, Lord also, according to their desire, they blessed them. So you will always remember me only, but all auspiciousness to you. Likewise, he also blessed the Jaya and Vijaya. So they don't get any further, even though they were angry and they make so many mistakes, they don't get another material but after 3 lives. So this Hiranyakshipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravanasura, Kumbhakarna, Sisupal, and Dantavakra, even though they have done so many things opposite to the Lord, they don't take another birth again. So that is the Lord's instruction. And then Lord blessed them, and then they fall down from the Vaikuntha. So here, after that, the Brahmanas, they have been very calm down. Then they only said to the Lord, whatever you wanted to do it and do it. And then after Lord explaining all these things, and then Bhagavantam parikramya pranipacchanumancha prajagmuhu pravidaha samcento Vaishnavim Shriyam, and they were glorifying the devotees of the Lord, how glorious it is to stay with the Lord like that. And then they have taken the three circumambulations around the Lord, and then they left the Vaikuntha. So that is very beautiful pastime. So there is no one mistake, but the Brahmanas. So we always need to respect the Brahmanas, please the Brahmanas. That is very, very important. And also the Vaishnavas, never ever make any mistakes, any offenses towards them. Hare Krishna. It takes a couple of minutes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So it's like how many layers, even though in a past time, like how many layers are there. So the root cause was like that time that doorkeeper Jay and Vijay were not able to remember Krishna and chant his names. If they were able to do that, they must have, they should not have committed this offense. So the thing it was like they were not able to remember Krishna and chant his names at that time, right? So that was the root cause.
We could say that, but before that also Lakshmi Devi's
Lakshmi Devi's curse also.
yeah, that is a foretold. It's not a curse, it is the foretold.
Okay. And I heard like when this incident happened, Krishna gave Jaya and Vijaya two options. Like either you can uh, take birth in material world in 7th lifetime, and you can be a devotee and you can serve him in the earth, or you can get 3 births as my enemies, and after 3 births you can come back to me. So they took the second option because they want to come back to Krishna very soon. So they choose like we will be your enemy, and so that we can come back to you soon. So is it correct, Prabhu? I hear it sometime. Is it so?
That is mentioned it. So currently I'm also a student of Bhagavatam. I'm just in third canto, just to going through this flow. But that but here it is not yet mentioned in the third canto. It is mentioned in the 7th canto, something like that, when Narada Muni was explaining to Yudhishthira about Jaya and Vidya. So they have chosen 3 lifetimes like that.
Yeah.
It could be, it is in the 7th, but I have not come to that point yet.
Okay, Prabhu. I hear like that, so I was thinking, is it right or not? Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. It was a new. I was also thinking about this for a long time, but yeah, now it's clear. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Very nice to explain, Hare Krishna. Just have a question, like, a small question.
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
sometimes if you are disturbed or something, at that time you cannot concentrate doing uh, like chanting or reading book or something. That what should you do?
So yes, Mataji. So that is unprecedented circumstantially. It is not the regular thing. So we need to question to ourselves whether it is regular or it is by circumstance. Regular means if it is some same kind of mistakes or things are happening more than 3 times, that is regular. But it is just occasionally happen, that is circumstances. So now by this time you also understand. Now please tell me, Mataji, so putting your question a bit more.
Sorry, I'm just saying, like, if sometimes you are disturbed or something, at the time, if you want to still concentrate chanting or like, reading book, but you cannot concentrate or not like focus, what
So
should you like?
that
Why
is
thing?
so that means it is a regular thing.
Regular thing, it's just
Yeah.
sometimes.
So yeah, sometimes regular means anything more than 3 times. That is a regular thing. That is frequently we are seeing. For example, in a 10 days time, I have seen this repeated 3 times. Then it is a regular. Otherwise, if it is repeated, if it has happened once in a year, that is circumstances, circumstantially unprecedented.
That is
So
regular. So what you
whenever it is regular, that means where is the root cause for it? So what is our desire? Am I doing things to impress someone, or am I trying to do to please the Lord only? So it is, there are so many people, devotees also coming there. We don't do things just for the devotee's sake. We do as a matter of duty to please the Lord. It doesn't matter if one person likes it or don't like it. It is not that we are going to do things because everyone likes it. Not that one. Because it is a matter of duty, because the Lord said, and to please the Lord and to please spiritual master. That's it. In between ourselves, spiritual master and Krishna, no one else. Only we three are there and our duty. That's it. And now when we see only consider those factors, what I am doing, where I am trying to do, what kind of activities I have got in day-to-day basis, that we have to analyze. Am I waking up on time to do the Mangalacharan prayer if I'm at home? Am I following tapasya at all? Sometimes we may take different kinds of austerities, like uh, among the devotees taking devotional services and all those things. But those are extra activities. And these are the main things. The core part is the spiritual duty, spiritual master, and Krishna, and ourself, the spiritual life. This is the core part of it. If core part of it is not disturbed, then all other devotional service activities, they will help us to progress in the spiritual life. So this core part must not be disturbed at any point of time. Because core part is strong, then devotional services, they will be supplementary, and also they will relish the most strong relations between yourself and the Lord. Then all other circumstances, they're just a cause. That's it. They will come automatically.
Thank
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So you were asking Mataji, like if there were a temper, like we were so much angry, or we are so much sad or something like that, we can not able to chant properly, or we cannot able to read properly. That was you were asking, Mataji.
Yes, someday we are disturbed or something happened.
Okay, so
We are thinking.
can I share something what I practice and it worked for me, Mataji?
Next test will be good. Yeah, thank you.
It's like Mataji yes, in practical also we get anger, or we get so much sad or something. So at that time what we can do is like, yes, we cannot able to chant with focused mind or with that, but just do chanting, just as a as mechanically, just chant like Hare Krishna. So just please don't react to that situation immediately. So just give yourself like 2 or 3 minutes, like just do chanting. So we may not be able to focus and do chanting at that time, because we are in the material world. Our mind will be, we cannot, our intelligence won't work that time. Our mind will be so much into that emotion. So just do chanting for 2 3 months mechanically also, but that name has the power. So when we do 2 3 minutes that chanting means, then slowly after sometimes our mind will be calm, and then we can think carefully, like we can analyze like what to be done, what not to be done. If at that provoking situation we did something, we say something, means it will be like we will also feel guilty after sometimes, I should not have said that at that time. So at that time, just hold on, just remember Krishna's name, just chant mechanically. It not need not be like so much involved, or just mechanically chant the name. So after sometimes our mind will be calm, so that we will, Krishna will tell us like what is right, what needs to be done, what need, if that situation needs to be addressed, or just ignore that situation. So that time Krishna will give us the clarity. So reading and all, at that time if we go and read something, it won't register in our mind, because our mind will be completely focused on that situation. So just chant, that is the most powerful weapon at that time. When someone criticizes us, or someone um, blaspheme us, or it's all about our situation. Like when we get angry, we get sometimes, just mechanically do chanting, it will work. It's like 2 to 5 minutes, just mechanically do the chanting. But Krishna's name has the power. Like if we do it with or utmost devotion, or just mechanically, it will work. Prabhupada says Krishna's name is there's like fire. If a kid touch the fire, he will also get burned. If an adult get that fire, that it will also get burned. So fire is not fire does discriminate. Oh, it's a kid, I should not burn him. It's not like that. Everyone touches the fire will get burned. So like that, Krishna's name is also like with intention or without intention, mechanically, or whatever thing we chant, it will work. So just chant for 2 to 5 minutes, so we will, our mind will get calm, and so that we can realize what is good, what is bad, what needs to be done, what not needs to be done. And only chanting will work at that time, Mataji. Not reading, not anything else will work at that time. So it is actually work for me. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to share. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Devi.
Krishna, Prabhu. I'm sorry. Yeah, what is your thought about this, Prabhu? It is what actually worked for me. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
beautifully
thank you.
summarized. So when we are disturbed, so chanting is we need to do in all circumstances. Chanting is the only solution for all circumstances. तस्मा सर्वात्मना राजन् हरिः सर्वत्र सर्वदा श्रोतव्यः कीर्तव्यः पूज्यस्य नित्यदा all the time. Okay, so it is all circumstances, either it is good or not good, and but actually we need to focus on the sound to see the Lord through the sound vibrations. This is the Bhagavan Shabda Gojaraha. Whenever we chant loudly, and we have to hear, and also others also, they have to hear. When others are hearing, what it means, that it also giving alert to us. We need to chant properly against-lessly. When we are chanting that one, we focus more on the sound. Then the Lord will come and sit in our heart, and He will make and your determination very proper, going very smoothly. ये तु त्वदीयचरणाम्बुजकोशगन्धं जिघ्रन्ति कन्नविवरैः श्रुतिवातनीतं भक्त्या गृहीतचरणः परया च तेषां न परिशिनादहृदयां पुरुहास्व पुंसां. Lord will never ever separate from you. So He will sit in your heart whenever you keep hearing and chanting attentively. And so for that everything comes, chant loudly so that everyone also hear. When you are in that mood, you will never ever make mistakes. Chant very loudly and very properly. That is the only thing. That is the immediate thing we can do it. everything will come in the way.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you,
This is a
Mata.
good platform to ask the question like this, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, whenever we ask questions, then only we get these answers from the scriptures and discuss and then reflect in ourselves. And in due course of time, we see the results. Otherwise, if the questions are dormant, and then just we come and hear and then go, that's all. And what are the reflections? So this is what we need to see is see the Lord in everyone. Aham sarvehi bhuteshu bhutatma avastitah. Bhutatma avastitah. So tam avajnatam mamatyaha. And without knowing to that, then kurite acha vidambhanam, and going to the temple and just worshipping him and coming home, then it is a kurite acha vidambhanam, it is just a show off. Lord does not be pleased with that. For the neophytes, it is necessary, but who are advanced and knowing that Lord is in everyone's heart, associating with the devotees, that is second level, Madhyamadikari. And Bhagavata is we always not to stay at only at the Kanishta. When the days are progressing, at year 1, I am the neophyte. In the year 2, maybe Madhyamadikari. At least we need to try progressing those steps to Bhagavata. Bhagavata sees everyone equal in equal vision. Lord, he sees the Lord in all the living entities like equally. That is Mahabhagavata. So he doesn't stick onto the temple, uh, and he always focusing, keeping only Lord in the heart. Wherever he goes, he make that place as the Tirthi Kuruvanti Tirthani. Swantastena Gadabhuta. He will make that place as a pilgrimage. So that is Mahabhagavata. So we need to progress into that way. Everything comes chanting the names properly so that we hear, also others hear.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna. So when chanting also, when we hear and others hear, Lord is in others' heart and we are in our heart. So if I chant once, how many people are hearing? If 10 people are hearing means that multiplies that many number of times. If I mute and chant, it will only be once, only I hear. And instead, even if I'm just only chanting very inside, murmuring, that it has got a very little impact. Of course, so again, this time, place, and circumstances.
And also, like, when we chant, we have to do like eyes open, or like close eyes, just eye and chant. Doesn't matter.
So here, once again, how our mind is. Whether my mind is completely thinking of Krishna, even though you're seeing the outside things, opening your eyes, you will only see Krishna. So whenever we chant, we also keep Mayapur Darshanarati and also Mangalarati and also chanting here. So if I open eyes, I only see the Lord and only see the devotees. Again, I close my eyes and then chant. Open again, see the Lord. So there is no difference here, opening and closing here. But when I'm in the material world, at the time when I open my eyes, I see so many other things. So do I need to open eyes? So that we need to think. Even though we open eyes, but we only see the right duty, making our path to the destination. That's all. We don't give attention to anything else. So that is the way of seeing this material world. Yata samharati chayam kurmonganiya sarvashaha indriyani indriyadebhyah tasya prajna pratisthita. We have to recognize senses when we go into the material world, like a turtle. So when if you open your eyes, if you see the Lord chanting attentively again, that is good. And it only makes you to determine. But as much as possible, if there is nothing else you have got, still you have got the your tongue to chant, hear, and your ears to hear the chanting vibrations. loudly. So then when we are doing it, these things, we only get those answers from the heart. It is not someone is telling. We get these answers from the heart. What needs to be done, what not needs to be done. If I open my eyes, if I'm getting disturbance, then Lord only give instructions. Okay, you want to do, you close your eyes and then concentrate on the sound. Lord will give the instructions from the heart. And then if there is no difference between either you close or open, still you are able to concentrate fully focused on only the Lord, then that means you are already in that path. You do not have to think about it.
Like while we are listening to katha or something, at the time we just say the name like on the backside, or just have to quiet.
Sometimes when katha is going on, when the muting in the behind, some we also chant sometimes. It is again circumstances. What kind of circumstances? Sometimes we do day-to-day duties and then come back and then complete the chanting 16 rounds very quickly. And then one side hearing the katha and another side hearing a kirtan and another side chanting is going on. We
It's
wanted
okay
to do everything.
So
So
you like while katha, listening katha, chanting is what you can do like inside.
sometimes it is recommended. When the katha, it is also when we are chanting, we need to remember the Lord. Nana Latakenam Vaikuntam Vyapakam Smaret. Remember the Vaikunta planets, everything while chanting. Vaikuntam Vyapakam Smaret. So that Vaikunta Lila Vidhanam Samadhanam Tadatmanha. And how that happens? When hearing Krishna Katha, then we also chanting. Okay, that gives more determination to chant loudly, attentively. That way we need to do it. But if it is distracting us from the chanting, then we need to think whether I need to do only the chanting or hearing a Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha is not everything Krishna Katha. Sometimes devotees also do and deviate the topic into different material things. There we need to give attention. Is it required at this particular time or I need to focus the chanting? So that is also matters.
I just didn't get it. So you think is you can do it.
Yes, as long as your chanting is not disturbed, you can hear the katha. But it is not some acharyas and gurus, they say just focus on only the chanting. It is based on whoever is the receiver of that instruction. If some person neophyte is coming for him, so you just simply chant and then or you simply hear the katha. That is the instruction. So if a already initiated disciple, so he will receive instruction with a little bit more uh, clear instruction. First you chant and then hear Krishna Katha and while engaging your devotional services. Likewise, it is and once again, instructions are there, but what level we are in, that also is important. Am I initiated? Am I not initiated? Or I'm just dragging my initiation or just pushing back towards later on in the future. So that also needs to be given. First, especially, we need to focus on the chanting first. Purity is the force. Chant without offenses. That is the most important thing.
Like after 16 round finish, like once you do the 16 round without hearing, just chant. But then after 16 round, like if you want more chant, you can hear katha while chanting. That could.
Yes, Mataji, that is good. Hearing Krishna Katha and chanting, because we have chanted attentively 16 rounds without any interruptions. Then after that, still as a humans, so we need to do some duties as well, either cooking and doing our duties at the time also chanting. It is very well and good because 16 rounds are completed. After that, if I don't have any other things, I can sit and chant focusedly. That is also the best. But when we are engaged ourselves in the duties, material duties, and chanting, it is also very good.
Like
Tasma.
driving and everything.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you.
All the time, chanting is always best. It doesn't matter whether you're in the kitchen, whether you're in living room or bedroom or anywhere else, any other rooms as well. So always chanting is the best thing. As long as it allows the mouth, the tongue to keep vibrating. Okay, so that is, thank you so much, Mataji, for asking these questions. Okay, so we shall move to the next part of our program. This is the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Sloka learning. It is the first canto, chapter 2, verse number 22. So this is Suta Goswami is saying, and this is the summary of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the previous verses, we have also seen Vidyate Pradegrante Chijjante Sarvasamsayaha Kshinti Chas Karmani Drushta Evatmanishvare. So likewise, whenever once the Pradegrandi, whenever that is cut, then all his doubts will be cleared and all his material activities will be subsided. Then he would see the Lord. Likewise, Sudha Goswami saying, so previously also all these verses are coming in sequence, step by step. So today, Sudha Goswami is saying that Ato vai kavyo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudevi bhagavati kurvanti atma prasadani. So he's saying that certainly, therefore, since time immemorial, all transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, with great delight because such devotional service is enlivening to the self. It is enlivening to the self. So, all these great people, Ato vai kavayo nityam, bhaktim paramaya muda, with so much of happiness, they render devotional service to Vasudevi Bhagavati Kurvanti Atma Prasadanim, which enlivens Prasadanim, Atma Prasadanim. So, can I request the dear devotees to take the turns, recite this verse 3 times? Saranya Mataji, would you like to go first?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I will try. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ato vai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya mudha vasudeve bhagavati kurvandi atma prasadanim. Ado vai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya mudha vasudeva bhagavati kurvandi atma prasadinim. Ado vai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya mudha vasudeve bhagavati kurvandi atma prasadinim. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji, here, Paramaya Muda. Muda is the happiness. Otherwise, if I say Mudha, then it will be different meaning. It is Muda.
Buddha. Okay.
Muda.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Muda. Muda means I'm completely opposite.
Yes, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
This way is all right. This is Bhaktim Paramaya Muda. Okay. Can I request Meena Mataji now?
Hare Krishna. Ato vekavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda Vasudevi Bhagavati Kurvantya Atma Prasadanim Ato Vekavayo Nityam Bhaktim Paramaya Muda Vasudevi Bhagavati Kurvantya Atma Prasadanam. अतो वे कवयो नित्यं भक्तिं परमया मुदा वासुदेवे भगवती कुर्वन्त्य आत्मप्रसादने.
Thank you, Mataji. So very beautifully recited. Gaurangi Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Okay. Ato ve kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudevi bhagavati kurvantyatma prasadanim. Ato ve kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudevi bhagavati kurvantyatma prasadanim. अतो वै कवयो नित्यं भक्तिं परामयं मुदा वासुदेवी भगवती कुर्वन्त्यात्मा प्रसादनीम्. Hare Krishna.
Great. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very perfect recitations. And beautiful. Okay, so shall we go into the meanings of these synonyms? Or each word by word synonyms? Then we enter into the context and the circumstances. Okay, so can I request Saranya Mataji to go for the first line? Atavai kavayo nityam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Adho vai kavayo nityam. Atha means therefore, vai certainly, kavaya all transcendentalists, nityam from time immemorial. So therefore, like from the previous verses, they were emphasizing the importance of devotional service. So therefore, certainly, like it is not like sometimes, it's certainly, it's like the assurance, certainly kavaya all transcendentalists, all who understand the truth, although all who came to this who understood the truth, nityam from time immemorial. It is like from time immemorial, there were certainly all transcendentalists were engaged in devotional service. So is it so, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. So here, kavayo, this is all transcendentalists. This is the intelligent people. The intelligent people. They analyze all the circumstances, even from the material perspective. Also, they analyze what is giving most pleasing to the heart. Most pleasing to the heart, not temporary and ever ending. It will never ever end here, and it will continue all the time. This peacefulness. Who has observed? So this is a nityam. It is all the time. If I do something which will give most happiness all the time, never ending, it will always continue that happiness. So that is these kavayas. They are very intelligent, who has observed all circumstances. Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. So that is a beautiful explanation. So it is after understanding the previous translations of the previous verses, meanings of the previous verses. Now these are transcendentalists. So they have passed through all the previous steps, knowing that that is the Vasudevi Bhagavati. So now can I request Meena Mataji to go for the second line? Hare Krishna, Meena Mataji.
Sorry, I'm muted. I'm sorry. Sorry. Bhaktim paramaya muda. Bhaktim is like the service to the God, service unto the God. Lord, paramaya is Sukti, muda is with great delight. So here it's just saying like, Bhaktim paramaya muda means is to the bhakti is our source of like, everything. It with great delight, whatever you do is the source of like, everything. It pleased the God and like, and that makes the God delight. Like if you do the bhakti, that will make God happy or like, something. That's something I understand.
Yes, Mataji. So here, bhakti is the always, it is the package of everything. It's package of all the activity and also the knowledge and also for the pleasure of the Lord. And then whatever the activity we do it for the Lord, it already a package, bhakti, service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Paramaya Muda, so that is Paramaya, it is that bhakti is transcendental always. So service unto the Lord is always supreme, and that needs to be done with a great delight. With great delight, which gives most happiness to the conditioned soul. Bhaktim Paramaya Muda. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. So can I request Gaurangi Mataji about that third line?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Vasudeva Bhagavati. Vasudeva means Sri Krishna, Bhagavati means the personality of Godhead. So, Vasudeva, we worship Sri Krishna, we believe Krishna when we always do pray for Krishna. Then Bhagavati means personality of Godhead. So what we do all of for Krishna, we do all of for Krishna, and we when we do Krishna chanting and everything, then we need to do samarpan, and we uh, have to think about like we are going to back to Godhead. So we if we do anything, so for Krishna, everything do for Krishna. I think Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very beautifully explained, Mataji. So everything is Krishna. Vasudeva Para Veda, Vasudeva Para Makaha, Vasudeva Para Yoga, Vasudeva Para Kriyaha, Vasudeva Param Jnanam, Vasudeva Param Tapaha, Vasudeva Paro Dharmo, Vasudeva Paragatihi. So this is the summary of. Thank you so much, Mataji, for we do everything for the Vasudevi Bhagavati, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhaga, Bhagavati, and Bhaga is the one, all the opulences. Bhagavati, who has possessed all these things, that is Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, Sri Krishna. And also Vasudeva, Sri Krishna is the pure, complete consciousness, who is the soul of this entire cosmic manifestation, and at the same time he is in the Goloka. That is Vasudeva Bhagavati. Thank you so much, Mataji. And the last line, Kurvanti Atma Prasadanim. So any volunteers to explain that line? Kurvanti Atma Prasadanim.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I will try.
Yes, Mataji.
So, Kurvanti, do render, Atma self, Prasadinim, that which enlivens. So, because the verse is about, because all transcendentalists, they know what is to be done, what is not to be done. So, all the transcendentalists is certainly from the time immemorial, they were doing service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead with muda, with great delight, because they know what needs to be done. So they were with great pleasure, they were doing all these devotional service. Kurvandi, they were rendering Atma self Prasadanim, that which enlivens, because they know it will enliven their self when they do the devotional service. So Kurvandi They were rendering Atma the self, Prasadini, that which enlivens the self. Is it
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. Yeah. So this is service to Supreme Court. And also when in the past or in the present also in India, many people, whenever we do charity, we do it for without expectation. To whomever we give charity, and we also thank them. So thank you so much for taking this charity from me. That was the case, even for that is the dharma. But nowadays it is a different opposite. Either we don't want to give, even if we give it, that because I have given it, you need to do something to me. It's kind of a business, something like that. So whenever we do it, so like to Krishna, without expecting, with our own time, money, energy, and all these things, we do not expect anything for ourselves, to our body, or to our mind, or to our intelligence, or to name, fame. Those things we don't do for ourselves. We do it for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord existing in all the living heart of the all the living entities. When we render such kind of service, then what happens? Atma Prasadani. How to execute that kind of service? Muda, with a great delight, we need to execute. So that needs to be done without our personal interest. Our personal interest is only to please the Lord. So that is Ato vai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudeve bhagavati kurvanti atma prasadani. So this is the ultimate thing what we experience in our day-to-day life whenever executing the devotional service. So this is yoga adhyatmika pumsam mato nishreyasayami atyant ukriti yatra dukkasya cha sukasya cha योगस्य लक्षणं वक्षे सबीजस्य नृपात्मजे मनो येनैव विधिना प्रसन्नं याति सत्पदम्. So these are the statements of Kapila Bhagavan. Mano yenaiva vidhina prasannam yati satpadam. It is very pleasing and satpadam to the Vaikunta, where there are no miseries. Whenever we do some service, we do not expect any personal sense gratificatory things on the bodily level, mind level, or just for name, fame, something like that. We don't do it for that sake. It is because the Lord we have to render devotional service. We do it. So that is beautiful of it. So can I request any questions in this the Sanskrit words? Ato vai kavayo nityam. So nityam, so there is a dot here on the top of him. Nityam. And bhaktim paramaya mudha vasudheve. Here vasudeve bhagavati kurvanti atma prasadanim. Any questions here in this Sanskrit?
Just understand, like innovative, prasadini means like with any.
Sorry, Mataji.
I just want to know about like more prasadini means like that with any event. What that means, any event.
So prasada is the means, the ultimate thing, the prayojana. So in other way, what is the prayojana? Prasada means we take the prasadam, and whenever it is applied on the mind, it needs to be very pleasant. Prasadam, prasadanim, it is which enlivens without any miseries, and which is the prasannam yati satpadam. Prasannam, prasanna वदनां भोजं प्रसन्नः सरणलोचनानः प्रशान्तपुरुषे. These are prasadanim, which is always pleasant. No disturbances in our happiness. Prasadanim, which enlivens the heart, keeping the heart in all the circumstances. Kashit pure sudharmayam, kashit pure sudharmayam. Sukamaste suhrudvritaha. The Lord is in the Dwarakapuri Kashit Pure Sudharmayam, in the Dharma, the Sabha, Sudharma Sabha, Sukamaste Suhrudvritaha, with along with all his associates, whether the Krishna, he is happy there. Bhagavanapi Govindo, Bhagavanapi Govindo, Brahmanyo Bhaktavachalaha. Kashit Pure Sudharmayam, Sukamaste Suhrudvritaha. That means, if we see the soul, that is the consciousness, does it is engaged in the horrible works, or it is pleasant all the time, having glorification of the Lord is also sitting, individual soul is also sitting within your body, whether they are happy all the time. That we have to make sure that they are not disturbed by our horrible works in day-to-day activities. So dharma, Yudhishthira was asking. Yudhishthira is what? The steady intelligence, the meaning of it. And the person, there is a history. So it is the history and reflections. So whenever we are rendering devotional service, everything goes automatically. That is prasadani. And we don't get disturbed by material things. Even though we are engaged in our day-to-day life, we are not disturbed, because inside the Lord is Sukamaste Suhrudvrtaha. The Lord is happy. And by learning all these verses, even though engaging ourselves, then inside the mind, all these verses are glorifying the Lord. All the prayers are glorifying the Lord. And what happens? The Lord will be pleased. Otherwise, how it could be possible? So that's why we have to know some, at least few prayers, and then even though when we are working, all these prayers might be going inside the mind, and anything that glorifies the beauty of the Lord, glorification of the Lord, anything relating to the Lord. Oh, Lord is like this, and then then you would be always happy, even though you are in the engaging yourself in the material duties. That is the Paramaya Muda, render devotional service. That is the work we need to do it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very nicely explained.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so I request dear devotees, kindly remember this verse as much as possible. So hope you have learned this verse now. So Gaurini Mataji easily can remember this verse. Very perfect and beautiful recitations. So anyone would like to try it without looking and then recite this verse? You can pick it when you need some words to remember. अतो वै कवयो नित्यं भक्तिं परमया मुदा वासुदेवे भगवती kurvanti atma prasadanim. It is simple and straightforward, easy to remember. Would you like to try?
I will try, Prabhu.
Yes.
Ato vai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya mudha vasudeve bhagavati kurvanti atma prasadini.
Yeah, perfect. Again.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Again.
Ado vai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramayo mudha वासुदेवे भगवति कुर्वन्ति आत्मप्रसादिनीम् अधो कवयो नित्यं भक्तिं परमयो मुदा वासुदेवे भगवतीं कुर्वन्ति आत्मप्रसादिनीम्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So, likewise, without any mistakes, when we do it 3 times, it would stay in our heart forever. Now, can I request Meena Mataji to try? Try.
Hare Krishna. I remember one line. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Just remember only one line and not last right now.
Yeah, when you need help, so you can just open your eyes and see those words.
अतो मे परमो नित्यं भक्ति परमया मुदा आत्मा वासुदेवे वासुदेवी भगवयो परमा कुर्वन्ति आत्मप्रसादिनी अतो वे कवयो नित्यं भक्ति अतो वे परमो नित्यं भक्ति परमया मुदा वासुदेवी भगवती कवयो आत्मप्रसादिनी.
Yeah, beautiful, Mataji.
Not trying it out. I think I have to still practice.
Yes, so that is, you have learned it already. You know all the Sanskrit words, verses, and everything. Yeah, just only thing is when we are practicing it, once we learn it, and it is just closing our eyes and do 3 times without any mistakes, that means we have learned it. That is our personal अतो वै कवयो नित्यं भक्तिं परमया मुदा वासुदेवी भगवती कुर्वन्ति आत्मप्रसादनीम्. It's very simple and straightforward. Want to go for once again, Mataji?
अतो वे परमो नित्यं अतो वे परमो नित्यं भक्ति परमया मुदा वासुदेवी भगवती कवयो आत्मप्रसादिनी.
Yeah, beautiful try, Mataji. So when we are working in the kitchen, so just remembering this verse, then automatically it would come. This is अतो वै कवयो नित्यं भक्तिं परमया मुदा वासुदेवी भगवती कुर्वन्ति आत्मप्रसादनीम्. Very beautiful, Mataji. Thank you. We have got Radha Sevaka Mataji here. Mataji, would you like to recite this verse?
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अतो वै गव्यया नित्यं भक्तिं परमया मुदः वासुदेवे भगवती कुर्वन्ति आत्मप्रसादनीम् अतो वै कावयो नित्यं भक्तिं परमया मुदा वासुदेवे भगवती कुर्वन्ति आत्मप्रसादनीम् अतो वै कावयो नित्यं भक्तिं परमया मुदा वासुदेवे भगवती कुर्वन्ति आत्मप्रसादनीम्.
Very beautifully recited, Mataji. Thank you so much. Gauringa Mataji, would you like to go like without looking at this verse?
Yes, Babaji, I will try. Okay. Ato ve kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudeva vasudevi bhagavate kurvantyatma nivedanam prasadinam prasadinim ato ve kavayo nityam bhaktim भक्तिं परामय मुदा वासुदेवी भगवती कुर्वात्मा प्रसादनिम् अतो वै कवयो नित्यं भक्तिं परामय मुदा वासुदेवी भगवती वासुदेवी भगवती. Sometime I have I look Prabhuji. Kurvan tatma prasadinim Prabhuji. Sorry, I cannot do Prabhuji.
But you are doing very beautifully, Mataji. Really perfect.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Recitation and also what's the pronunciations. And it is going very soft and smooth. Thank you so much, Mataji. Radha Sirka Mataji, would you like to go without looking, or you can pick sometime?
Okay. Um,
Try.
Atto ve kavyayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudeve bhagavati kurvanti atma prasadanim ato ve kavyo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudeve bhagavati kurvanti atma prasadanim ato ve kavya nityam bhaktim paramaya muda Vasudeve Bhagavati Kurvanti Atma Prasadanim.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. You have done a very nicely recitation.
I did peek a little bit.
So, any reflections, Mataji, in this verse?
So it's certainly therefore since in time immemorial all transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to the Supreme Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with great delight, because such devotional service is enlivening to the self. Yeah. So yeah, this is the only thing that can actually make us happy. Like all transcendentalists, like no one's gonna stay with something if it doesn't. Unfortunately, if it doesn't give us something. And when we're talking about Krishna or when we're practicing devotional service, eventually that leads to us being fulfilled as well. So it's more impetus to kind of carry on, but also even if we suffer, the thing is we can't leave Krishna. Like it, it it's not possible. Like whichever way, really. So of course we get. Of course, it's enlivening. It's the only thing that enlivens the soul because the soul is looking for that connection with the super soul. But also, even if we're suffering, it doesn't matter because Krishna is there, so it doesn't matter. So we're always seeking to serve the Lord. So even if it looks like suffering, Krishna is still there.
That is a very beautiful point, Mataji. Is the this is Atma Prasadani, which is the self, which is enlightening and happy and peaceful all the time. Even though the outside bodily pains, that is normal, usual. It is for all the living entities. But Atma Prasadhanam, it will override all those bodily pains and miseries. That way, whenever we leave the body, which is already miserable and contaminated with so many diseases, old age, and which we don't need it anymore. At the time, we get into that body which is transcendental. That's similar to the Vasudevi Bhagavati, because we are all part and parcels. Thank you so much, Mataji. So it was a very beautiful point. Okay, so that is a tiny purport. Would you like to read, Mataji?
The speciality of devotional service and the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is specifically narrated herein. Lord Shri Krishna is the Swayam Rupa personality of Godhead, and all other forms of Godhead, beginning from Sri Baldev, Sankarshana, Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Narayan, and extending to the Purusha Avtaras, Guna Avtaras, Lila Avtaras, Yuga Avtaras, and many other thousands of manifestations of the personality of Godhead are Lord Shri Krishna's portions and integrated parts. Living entities are separated parts and parcels of the personality of Godhead. Therefore, Lord Shri Krishna is the original form of the Lord, and he is the last word in the transcendental. Thus, he is more attractive to the higher transcendentalists who participate in the eternal pastimes of the Lord. In forms of the personality of Godhead, other than Sri Krishna and Baldev, there is no significance for intimate personal as it is the transcendental pastime of the Lord. The transcendental pastime of the Lord newly accepted as argued by some less intelligent persons. His pastimes are eternal and are manifested in due course in a day of Brahmaji, as the sun rises on the eastern horizon at the end of every 24 hours.
Hare Krishna, very beautiful purport. Any reflections in this purport, Mataji?
So yeah, like our soul seeks a transcendental relationship with the Lord, and the Lord is present always, and sometimes he appears and sometimes it seems like he disappears, but he's always there. And it's this form of Lord Shri Krishna that gives us the pleasure. So even though he has loads of expansions, we still are mostly attracted to the original personality of Godhead, which is Lord Shri Krishna, because of the intimate personal contact. So it's the desire to enter the pastimes of Vrindavan, and this is the form of the Lord that we see. Yeah. Because there are so many different, but even within all of those, it's the one in Vrindavan that we look for and see.
Yes, Mataji. So it's a very beautiful. So we always take pleasure in serving to the Supreme Personality of Godhead straight away. And all these pastimes with Krishna, they're all transcendental. So they are eternal and are manifested in due course of time in a day of Brahmaji as the sun rises on the eastern horizon at the end of every 24 hours. Very beautiful purport. Thank you so much, Mataji. So likewise, knowing all this information, what this Kavyadur, all these transcendentalists, they with a great delight, they render devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that way, they attain Atma Prasadani. Okay, so that is from this verse. So, okay, any other questions or any realizations or anything to share?
Krishna is very kind, like in the Vrindavan Leela, like he's kind of just like you want him to be. That makes sense. Like like there's still awe and reverence in some of the other forms, but in the Vrindavan, it's like just Krishna is different. Not he's different, but he's he's reachable, and he's it's like he's just like a normal human being. But not just like a human being, but he's there's engagement, there's relationship, there's like it's fun, it's happy, and naturally like having lived in Vrindavan, and you can see the magic of Krishna is happening everywhere, and it's like he's fully there, and you see his not just his hand in everything, but you feel his presence in everything. Like you see it in so many situations, and even if you like read a Krishna Lila book or something, or you do enact something or whatever, it's like Krishna is there, and his presence is really felt throughout, and it's like it's mystical. Um, it's the way, like, you know, even if it's Janmashtami, like just before Janmashtami, like everything starts, the whole environment becomes like it was before his birth. Like, you know, there's a lot of rain, the thunderstorms, the way the Yamuna flows, like it's active lila. It's that it's happening all the time. Not it's never not there, and every moment is different. Like you can live in like Vrindavan every day, but every day is different. So even, you know, so what would it have been like when Krishna was actually um you know, when he was, you know, here 5,000 years ago? Like it, if we can feel it now, then what would it have been like when he was actually performing the pastimes that were visible to people? He's always there. Like in Vrindavan, even now, everything is Krishna. Everything. Like there's nothing. Like Krishna is a part of your. Krishna is, you know, like you feel that presence is much stronger. Like in every single situation, you don't just see his hand, because we can see his hand in our situation, but in Vrindavan, you feel him in his home, in his world, in his happiness, um in his pleasure. It's easier there. It's like you there's no in that situation, there's no you, there's just him. I think the Vrindavan pastime is different. because you're dancing to his tunes, not to your own kind of your own thing. Yeah. I think Vrindavan is very special. I think you, it's difficult to explain and it's inconceivable.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing the Vrindavan pastimes. So hope you experienced all those ecstatic moments when in the Vrindavan. Thank you for sharing, Mataji. So Vrindavan, it is the Lord's abode, and by his personal expansion, Tadhama Tananta Anantasa Sambhavam. So it is the expansion of the Ananta. That is the replication of Goloka into this material world. Trailoke Prithvidhanyaha Yatra Vrindavanam Puri. That is very, very auspicious. It is manifested here in the earth for the Lord. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing those Vrindavan pastimes and the relationships. Okay, it is unlimited, unending. Thank you so much, Mataji. Anything else? Okay, if you're all happy, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णव Hare Krishna conscious day everyone. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya